So obviously what you all need to know is when you're talking to each other, you need to make sure you do this. Because nobody will know who you are unless you stood like that. So I'm going to start with a quotation from Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He said, "Give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and feed him for his whole life. Teach a man to cycle and he'll realise fishing is stupid and boring." So, welcome one and all to the 4th annual SNCC presentation evening. Now, I always get a little nervous when I'm asked to be Compere for these events. In fact, I tend to have quite bad dreams. This afternoon, I was having a little nap, and when I woke up, I dreamt that I woke up and my room was full of eggs, but I just realised I'd overlaid. It's a pleasure to act as Compere for such a well-known and well-respected club as ours. We are an active club, taking part in events all over Europe, as you'll see from our review of the year. We are a friendly club. Wherever we go, we tend to adopt people that we meet. There was Pocket Rocket Rachel in Mallorca, Joe the Czech on the Haute Route. We held Casey O'Driscoll to 2nd place in the Haute Route at Ladies. And of course, in Mallorca, the Mombasa bar staff can't live without us. We're a growing club. We have 120 members, but plenty of new arrivals. Craig and Leanne, Alex and Kate, Thomas and Nicola have all had SNCC babies. Matt and Shell have had another new bike. And we've had our first SNCC wedding, with Dave and Leslie deciding to ruin their lives by getting married. So a round of applause for everybody. And of course we're a strong club. Not only do we graft on the bike during training and racing and riding sportives, but we apply the same strength to life. This year Sharon has ridden cancer off her wheel, and Tracy is bullying her illness into taking a threshold test, and I know who will come off best. So I'd like to invite Sharon and Tracy to come up and collect a small token of our respect. So if you come up. Let's get on with the review of the year. And this involves me talking and pressing buttons, so bear with me. So first up in April we had the Mallory races with our very own Dean Easton, or Andre Greipel as I like to refer to him, with quads by Garth, and of course Matt Bagshaw as well. During these races Dean gained his 3rd category race licence, so I'm sure the rest of the peloton will be very worried about next season. So well done to Dean and Matt. And then on to May, where we had our annual Mallorca training camp. Now, numbers were up again, year on year. There was absolutely loads of us out there. And I'd like to remind everybody that to get on board for 2019, there'll be lots of us there having a really, really good time. You can see there's Rachel in front, one of the new friends that we made while we were out there. We've even let somebody from Ashfield join us. Pretty kind. And you can come out and, you know, mix with these sorts of people. I know Daz is particularly keen to have a go at Pig Mayor again. There's our very own Smiler there, majestically climbing, I think that's Sacalobra. That's the same on the descent, that's where Wayne face planted the car. It's the only thing that slowed him down that week. And there's Bev, and I'm not sure who's in front, but I don't think Bev would have put up with that for very long. And then also in May, we had the Tour of the Peak and the Scarborough Dax, both of which Craig Robinson, or as we like to know him, Snake, took part in. And there he is with the big fella. And these are truly incredible. In the Tour of the Peak, Craig did 113 miles, an average 15.3 mile an hour. And then in the same month, in the Scarborough Dax, he did 255 miles with 9,000 feet to climb and an average 17 mile an hour. So I think that deserves a round of applause. Brilliant. Cycle by Nottingham. We're both Dale and Wayne, and there's Dale's plain face, look.
Just going to leave that.
Wayne looks perfectly comfortable. Dale doesn't. They chose to do the 100-mile distance, with Dale doing it in 5 hours 11 minutes and Wayne in 4 hours 56. So it's a fantastic effort. And in the same month we had what I hope that will be called the annual Skegness Jamboree. This was a fantastic event where we had a club ride to Skegness, some rode back and some caught a bus. Everybody had a fantastic time. Maybe I am having a fantastic time. I made it all the way to Kirkby before I turned back and went home. And there's the bus on the way back. And I know that the bus driver is particularly keen to have a word with Kerry and Elvis. He wants to find out what the rattle on the back of the bus is. And there we are, all enjoying fish and chips. And then in July was the Outlaw Triathlon, which is obviously a full iron distance triathlon, and obviously Mr. Outlaw, Gary Goucher, took part in this. Not only did he take part, but he won his age group, and of course he is one of only 3 people to have completed every single Outlaw branded event since their inception. So I think that's incredible, and I think Gary will do the right thing. So, also in July was the Étape de Tours. This is an annual sportive with 15,000 entrants, and the club, I went to spectate actually rather than take part, but it's a fantastic event, and there was lots and lots of current and past members there, all having a fantastic time in the sunshine after working incredibly hard. And I just wanted to point out that in 2019, next year, the Étape is sold out to general entrants. You can still get a charity place, but the club is taking 24 members to do that. And I think for a small town club to take 24 members to an international event like that is something that we should all be very, very proud of. And it shows what ambition that we have as members. So well done to everybody who's coming to do that, or everybody who supports people in training who do that. So well done.
100 now.
There's our very own club captain, I suppose, or honorary club captain there, putting the hurt on people, so that's fantastic work. I assume that that's really downhill, and it's just pictures at a funny angle, I guess. So also in July we had Ride London, and now this is an event that I think only Wayne took part in this club, but it's a fantastic event, and I had to actually check this fact because it is absolutely incredible. So Wayne did the 100 miles in 4 hours and 28 minutes. Now you think about what that involves, and the weather was absolutely atrocious. Again, I think Wayne has done a fantastic job there. Although it does look bad at the end of it, I mean, it looks terrible. So, August, really interesting one here. So, our very own Anne Cook set her own challenge to go and do the Home Moss ride, which involved 102 miles with 8,620 feet of climbing, which is the most climbing that Anne has ever done in a ride. And I think this is not an organised event, this is something that Anne chose to do off her own back to challenge herself. So again, I think that shows what sort of club we are, that we're all prepared to go and do some pretty amazing things. So well done. Now, August also saw the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. Now, this is the Ironman Corporation, puts on this event, and it's the pros and the age group athletes that have qualified either as of right and roll down, all go to some venue in the world to compete against each other to find out who's the best of the best. Now, our club had somebody go and take part in these World Championships. Obviously, you know who, our very own Gary Goucher. Now, just to put this in perspective, Gary qualified as of right. So, first of all, he qualified on roll down, because he was there at the right place at the right time, but he was dissatisfied with that. He went and qualified as of right to go and represent our club at the World Championships, and he placed 68th in his age group in the entire world. Now that is an amazing achievement, and it's something that I personally aspire to, but I think we can all agree that that is just a fantastic achievement, so well done, guys. Now August saw the Haute Route events. So there's two events. There was the Haute Route Pyrenees and the Haute Route Alps. Brent went to do the Haute Route Pyrenees, and Daniel Ward, myself, Matt Bagshaw, Paul Waterhouse, Paul Sutcliffe and Dale Lane went to do the Haute Route Alps. And these are premier events really in the world. They're 7-day cycling events. They're incredibly challenging over incredible terrain. And again, I think it's a credit to the club that we enable people, normal people, to go, normal people except Brendan, normal people to go and take part in these events. And I think it extols or gives an opportunity to show the virtues of the club. So, leadership. We've got our DS here soaring majestically above the Alps. So I think it shows leadership. It shows friendship. This is Joe the Czech, a guy from Prague that we met out there, that we made an honorary member because he joined us in the rides. And friendship's an important thing in our club. It shows teamwork. Here's the Haute Route Alps crew, having finished in Nice, and we couldn't have done it without each other. I mean, myself, I ran out flapjack on the second day, so there's no way I would have got there without basically Matt and Paul supporting me in flapjacks. And I shared a room with Dan Ward, and I can assure you there's no way you wouldn't have finished it without me being there to support him. Well done, Dan, for finally getting me. There we are. And it also shows awesomeness. So Brent here, obviously we all know he's a fantastic cyclist, but to go and do a 7-day event on your own without your mates there to help you shows how strong and well organised a rider Brent must be. I'm pretty capable, but I know full well I couldn't handle 7 days making sure my kit was ready for the next morning and making sure that I prepared myself properly and getting up and doing it. And in those dark moments, having the wherewithal to talk myself into getting up and getting on with it. So I think awesomeness as well, so well done, Brent. And now we've got a short video made by Triathlon Dan, and if you could all go onto YouTube and like, is it Triathlon Dan? Triathlon Dan on YouTube, if you could all like it, somehow in some way I think Dan gets some money out of it, so if you all go on and like that, that'd really help him out. Okay, and here's the video.
Which one's this?
Haute Route, the Alps one.
Oh, right, it's not a triathlon. I thought it was a triathlon.
No, I think the Haute Route.
Thank you, drummer. Matt's such an idiot.
Potentially, where are they? Hopefully we are here. Awesome, mate. Yeah, mate. You look well. You paid for it, you know.
Where's the Jordan? Well, it's set up down here. John James! John James! Brother James! Smile for the camera, Matt. How much time? 91.36. I take it you wait for a minute. Okay. What reaction? How you feeling, Matt?
Oh, fantastic. Look at that, mate.
What about you, Paul? Do you think you throw the tour away in one stage?
Well, Matt's still in for a time trial, we know that.
Did you set a new FTP?
Come on, James, how was that?
It was absolutely excellent, lovely. Good for 50 minutes, I'm really pleased.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Matt, how was that?
Fantastic. I don't know where I got it from.
Matt was actually bearing himself and has taken out the camera before.
Yeah, so less than an hour time? Yeah. James, can you perhaps talk us through what's going on the step? On your step, what's going on there?
James thinks we're going to be targeted because we're on a kick. We've got incognito today. Well done, Matt. Well done, mate. Good work. Well done, James. Good job, mate. Well done, mate. Good ride. Guys, please tell me how feeling. What ambitions for today? James, any ambitions for today? What's your plan? Alright. Just get a bit. Again, Matt. Sprint to this line. Very good.
We've got Paul, we've got James, we've got Paul, Matt, Daniel, the whole posse, Brandon.
So, September once again brought out the real athletes. So it was basically the brutal events weekend at Llanberis in Wales. Some pretty amazing results really. Kate Simpson and Sally Hughes both did the half brutal duathlon, and incredibly Sally placed second and Kate third overall, so they actually stood on the podium, so I think they both deserve a clap. And then Ben Innes set himself the target of doing the half brutal triathlon, which he completed in, very tough conditions really, a really cold lake. So again, Ben did a fantastic job. I don't know if Ben's here, but I think we ought to give him a round of applause even if he isn't. And I did the double brutal, which is a double iron distance event. So that was voted by 2020 magazine the hardest triathlon in the world, until some idiot came up with the idea of a triple brutal. More on that later probably.
No.
But it involved 3 hours 12 minutes of swimming, and then 237 miles on the bike with 21,000 foot of climbing, and then a 52-mile double marathon, which I did in 34.5 hours. Now again, you'll notice from this photograph that this shows what sort of a club SNCC is. So I couldn't have done this event without the support, and I had support from my family, and I had support from my friends, and I had support from my club mates. And you can see here that all of those three things are all combined there. So I couldn't have done this event without SNCC, and so I think all of the people who were involved know just how important we were to doing it. But South Normanton Cycling Club enabled me to reach my personal challenge, so thank you very much, South Normanton, I really appreciate it. So there I am at the finish. I think I look pretty good considering. And so I think it's important for everybody there. I mean, only idiots do things like this, but you should all set yourself challenges that really scare you, because I see this every Wednesday, every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday. You're all really capable of doing some amazing things. So get your name down, put your South Normanton shirt on, and go and compete and see what happens, because you'll all do fantastic. Which brings me on to October, the Matlock Top 10. Stephen Hill and Craig Robinson both did this really challenging sport team in our local area, and there's a nice note here from Matt, who basically says it was wet. So I'm guessing that the conditions were pretty abysmal. So well done to everybody. And then after there we go. So then the hill climb season started. So this is September to November. Just bear with me. So we had 1 or 2 members take part in this season: Simon Kent, Gary Morrison, James Doxey, Pat Murphy and Mark Canning. And I've just picked out a few notable results here, because again, they're pretty impressive. So at the Sheffield Rec, Pat finished 5th, Doxey 11th and Mark 18th. Winster Hill Climb, a local event, Doxey 4th and Mark 9th. Hardwick Hill Climb, which is obviously our local event, Pat and Doxey both finished joint 10th, so I don't know if they're on a tandem or only they can tell us. Lincoln Hill Climb, Mark Canning finished 7th, which was actually an age group win, so I think a round of applause there for that. And then of course Holly Lane, where Pat finished 13th and was 2nd there, and then 3 of them went on to the National Hill Climb. So Pat finished 101st, Doxey 131st and Mark 177th, Pat being 13th vet. That's a national event, and we've got 3 members of our club taking part in a national event, finishing, really well. So again, I think that shows the ambition of the club, and it shows where we can all go if we put our mind to it. So fantastic effort, South Normanton. Simon, I think, who looks better in that kit than he does tonight in that suit. There's Dean looking very concerned over Mark. I'm not sure, who is that? Is that Gary, is it? Brilliant, brilliant. And that looks like Monsell, I guess. That's Pat. Or is that James? That's James at Monsell. Well, there you go. Looks pretty bad. There we go. So, what I'd like to do is, there's an arrangement in the club for members who take part in proper races. Not races like I do, races that count locally or nationally, who have to pay race fees or damaged kit doing it. So there's an arrangement where small amounts of money are given back to them to help cover some of the costs. So I'd like to invite Matt and Dean for their Mallory event, and Pat, Mark and James Doxey to come up and collect a little cheque to help go towards your race fees, please. So basically that brings me to the end of this section of the awards evening, and I believe it's going to be time for a few drinks and then it's buffet o'clock.
I'll leave that there.
Okay, we're going to be getting on with the awards shortly. So we're going to start with the Strava Challenge, which is basically an attempt by Mark Canning to ensure that he won something. So we're going to start with the main group Strava Challenge. In 3rd place, Pat Murphy. In 2nd place, and I'm sure he's very disappointed, Mark Canning. And in 1st place, with far too much time on his hands, Matt Bagshaw. Well done, Matt. Only thing you're going home with tonight.
Oh, nice.
Shell's going home with Paul. Shell's going home in an ambulance. Okay, next award, the Intermediate Group Strava Challenge. Order please. So we've got joint second place today. We have got Chock and Kev Dawes, so Chris Gratian and Kev Dawes, well done. And in first place we've got, and it's worth me noting here as well, that this particular guy did 8 triathlons in a year this year, so well done to Gary Morrison. I'll collect that on his behalf then, Dan. Okay, so now Strava challenge for the ladies. I know that the order of these names has been noted in our house because we had a sneak preview of this, and I think things are going to have to change next year, otherwise I'm going to have to move back. In third place, Kate Simpson. And in second place, Kerry Powell. And in first place, Bev Dawes. Well done.
Lee is the man. With the camera, yes. He is the man.
Okay, and now we've got a special award because basically we've met so many interesting people this year and we're held in such high esteem worldwide, and we've met so many people from other countries. We've got an International Rider of the Year, and the winner is Joe the Czech Babicki. Now, unfortunately Joe can't be with us this year, but he has sent us this message. Now remember that because Joe is from Prague in the Czech Republic, we are very lucky that he sent us this message and not a massage.
Is it on? Is it on?
You're making me look like a clown now. Okay.
Seen it.
They must have 2 of these jerseys.
I take it it's got an SNCC one in there. So.
What's that shadow on the screen?
He said he couldn't do it without me. Okay, next up we have got Club Person of the Year. Now this is not an award that you, the membership, vote on, but it's rather chosen by a committee of drunken people in the miners on a Sunday. If anybody wants to be involved in the decision-making process, you just basically have to turn up and buy Dale a drink. So there are so many people, committed members of our club, we could basically pick from 1 of 10 probably. I think in particular mentioned somebody who hasn't unfortunately won it this year, but has put in something over and above. I think Jono's blog on the Hort route is something that we had taken part. we really appreciated, and I know that everybody out there did as well, but the award this year has gone to somebody who basically has taken ownership of something and made it a club thing. So much so, in fact, that they themselves no longer do this, but it still continues as part of our club. So for his work in establishing Intermediate Fast Friday, Club Person of the Year is Craig Robinson. Snoop. And now it's time for the real athletes to be recognised. Not content with going for a bike ride where the wheels do all the work, these people go for a swim first and then go for a run afterwards. So there's been a really strong shortlist this year with SNCC representing itself both locally and internationally. But the triathlete of the year is... And the fix is in! In your face, Goucher! And you had enough. Okay, so now the most improved rider of the year. Again, another hotly contested one, but I think the person that's won this, cycling-wise, he used to be as limp as a French handshake, but now he'll waste you like a popsicle on a warm day. It's Matt Bagshaw! Here it is at last, the big one. Riders' Rider of the Year, the stomping ground of giants. As Phil Leggett said, there will be a lot of complaining today that that was too hard, but winners never complain. Riders' Rider of the Year and winner of the coveted Malinois and his name on the shield, we've got Matt Bagshaw. To give us a few words.
Well, what can I say about that, sorry? Yeah, it does sound like a fix, actually. I don't know. Thanks everyone that voted. I know it's a really tough decision this year, a lot of real strong riders. Yeah, so whether you vote for me or not, you know, thanks for getting involved and voting, it was great. Thanks, Brent, as well. It's been, where is it? Is it here? Cheers, Brent. You've been a fantastic black jersey the last couple of years. I'm sure it's not the last time you were wearing it either, mate, so please go easy on me then. And the club, I mean, as James said, and as we've seen all night, it's such a strong club, such amazing members. That's the reason why I stuck with it and why I've improved the way I did. And I would just encourage all of you to sort of, I think as James already said, set your sights high, keep going, and you know, these are the sorts of things that we can achieve. It's been amazing. Yeah, thanks. I'll try and do the judging proud.
all agree that's a worthy winner this year. And I'd just like to say that my bit's done now, so thank you very much, and I'm going to pass you over to the DS.
Thank you, James. I'm not going to stand here dribbling for too long. I just want to say thank you for everybody who turned up today. Matt and James know they've done a lot of work for this presentation, and if they spoke to me earlier, I was shitting it. I thought nobody was going to turn up. Well, not nobody, but I thought there might just be a dozen of us. So I've been panicking a bit, thinking, oh fucking hell, what are we going to do? There'll be nobody dancing, except us. But thank you for everybody, and all I can ask is that, you know, like next time when you're out and people are saying, oh, did you go to a presentation, just tell them that you did it. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and let's make this a good annual event, because that's all I want to do for everybody. Everybody to enjoy it, everybody to enjoy the cycling who do it, and come to one evening a year like this, where we can just let us hair down a little bit and eat a bit too much, because most cyclists don't, and enjoy themselves. So thank you for turning up, and thank you for everybody who's put so much effort in, James and Matt doing the presentation, and well done for everybody who's won the awards. It's very well deserved. Thank you.
Thought Gallery Films.